I'm getting this, like, to stay with things emotionally. Let go of any petty annoyances. Like, I could be frustrated that all the stuff is going on either with the laptop or with my scheduling and, you know, any of that. But I'm kind of getting from this card, enjoy your problems, you know, keep it in perspective. This card, Five of Wands, has a lot of Mars energy to it, and you can see that in the card there's 5 figures, and they could either be playing or fighting. So I sometimes call this card playing versus fighting. And it's sort of like you could either bring a lightheartedness to it, like sportsmanship. You can see it as like the thrill of competition, or it could be outright warfare. It could be anger. It could be like, you know, striving for domination. So when I see this card, I usually invite folks to adopt a playful attitude. Like, I remember one of my relatives used to have a car that would break down, and instead of getting upset, they would just make a joke and say, okay, fix it again, you know, I gotta take it to the shop again. It helps if you can keep a sense of humor about things when this card shows up, and it's in reverse. So it's kind of just saying keep the petty annoyances of life in check. Like, if you're running into traffic, if things aren't smooth right now, you know, just accept that this is a bumpy part of the road, and maybe just like laugh through it if you can. I'm also remembering there's a video of a surf movie that I saw one time where they had squeaky windshield wipers, and one of the surfers was kind of making fun of it, and he was saying, like, yeah, squeaky windshield wipers, it always keeps you positive, you know, keeps you motivated, and meanwhile you're hearing the squeak of that. So until you can correct whatever little minor annoyances or problems are happening, see if you can adopt a sense of humor about it, see if you can find the playfulness in it, the absurdity, just laugh with it and roll with it. I think that's going to serve you this month in June, Aries. I know I can relate to that with my Aries moon. So I'm just going to say keep things in perspective. And when you have a choice, whether to get super riled up about something or super competitive or super angry or any of those Mars energy things, because you guys are ruled by Mars, so you have a tendency to go both on the high side and low side of Mars. When you have that choice, or when you can look at it as just sport, or, you know, playful battle, something that you want to just engage in for the fun of it, or you can kind of step back and laugh at it, keep it in perspective. I'm going to invite you to do that for this month. Don't let any trivial problems flare up for you. Keep it in check, keep it in perspective. What is in your shadow position is moon. So this means trying to evaluate what's real versus what is temporary or passing. You may be able to use that here in terms of looking at how you feel about something. That is this going to be happening forever? Is it going to be temporary? Is it permanent, like the sun's light, or is it changeable, like the moon's light? Moon is really a card about letting subconscious emotions come up for evaluation and really assessing, like, what's real, what's fantasy. The fact that it's here in your shadow position, I'm seeing 2 things. One thing I'm getting is don't let your dreams stay in the shadows, because dreams are what happens during the moon period. You know, it's our subconscious letting things up for evaluation, giving us information. So it's saying don't let your dreams remain in the shadows. And I'm also getting that you have the opportunity to see what's real or not, although you may not know it. You may be confused if there's any confusion about anything, because the moon can sometimes have this hazy feeling. You have an opportunity to evaluate what you think about it between the left brain and the right brain. You know, what do you feel versus what do you think? That's sort of what these 2 towers are about, and it really will take you the way forward if you can really get clear on letting those emotions bubble up. Don't try to suppress your emotions when you see this card. Let them come up and just evaluate it gently in the, you know, gentle light of the moon. I'm also getting with this moon image here in the shadow position that, especially with that full moon, the full strawberry moon in Sag that we just got, is that some of you may need to release something, but you're not admitting that to yourself. There may be something that you're ready to Um, just evaluate whether it's working for you or not, or how you feel about it. And there's something to be released. So with Moon in the shadow, it's saying what's still hanging out in the shadows that you need to release. What do you need to, like, if you had a room that was darkened and there was stuff hanging out in there, what do you need to shine the light on and like clear away the old baggage of? Because that's kind of what I'm getting from Moon for some of you. What's passing away in June is a period of inactivity or feeling like taking a rest, recharging your batteries. Some of you may have felt like, I feel like I'm not in motion, or, you know, you did something and then you took a break, took a rest, and now this resting period is wrapping up. Or this is just a reflection period. Maybe you're thinking back over things. So this is what's going to be passing away, and what's coming up is action. That's what's showing up for you in June. It's not necessarily smooth action because it's got this Five of Wands, charged, competitive, sportive Mars energy to it. So it can feel like fighting or competing for something, or just being in the game is actually a high side interpretation of this card. It's like, I'm in the game. I'm fighting for what I want. I'm in it to win it. I'm going for it. I'm doing it. I'm competing with others. You know, this is a real card of competition. So in the reverse position, it could mean that you either don't want to compete, or it means like keep a light heart towards anything that looks to do with like competitions, battles, engagements, anything where you're in the thick of it. Just keep a lighthearted attitude towards it. Keep it on the high side, because you don't want to get involved in like the low side of it, which is over seriousness, pettiness, letting the annoyances or the petty annoyances get to you. You know, it's keeping things again in perspective. And then what's coming in for you for June is the Emperor. Now this is also an Aries ruled card. You can see, in fact, the ram's heads on his throne here. So it's really saying, and you can see them here as well, it's really saying that you are the person in charge. You are the person who makes the rules for you. You are the top head, like CEO of your own empire, your own world, your own life. But because it's in reverse, you may not feel like you have the authority or the power to dictate those laws, those edicts, those rules, those boundaries. I'm going to say, Aries, that the more that you can adopt a playful attitude towards things, the more that you may be able to embrace Emperor energy, which is defining rules, boundaries, laws, regulations, you know, how things should go, what's okay and what's not okay. So the more you keep things in perspective here with whatever battles you're fighting, or any competitions, or anything where you feel like you're being put into competition with something, you can actually identify what's coming in for you is identifying yourself as the one who's in charge of you. Identifying yourself as like, I am in charge of my own domain. I'm in charge of my own kingdom. Whatever all these other people are doing, I don't have to. He's not in strife. He's not in competition with anyone else. He's not like fighting for something. He's already achieved it. So, and he's just sitting on his throne and saying, this is how it goes. This is how it is. This is what I say. And this is what goes. So I'm going to invite you, even though you may not believe it, you may have some doubts, fears, or resistance towards feeling like you're in control, or you're in charge, or you're stable, or that, all of those things that come with Emperor, the ruler. See if you can see yourself as Emperor, as, the person who is in charge. You're in charge of you. So I'm going to just say, see if you can envision yourself being Emperor, and that's going to help you. If you have any doubts, fears, or resistance towards embodying Emperor energy, see if you can strip that away by adopting that playful attitude towards any kind of competition that you might be being forced to engage in, or any, petty annoyances or anything like that. And see if you can just say, no, I'm in charge of me. I've got my own thing going on here. I'm Emperor. And what's highlighted for you this month is Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands, although it's in reverse, Knight of Wands has to do with courage and daring and being willing to take a leap, being willing to go into battle, being willing to like have the courage to take on a new adventure. So he's very, on the high side, he's very daring, he's very courageous, he's not really afraid of anything, he goes for it. But on the low side, it's sort of like the cowardly lion, you know, he's strong, but he doubts himself. Or it can sometimes go too much into aggression or anger or like being arrogant or cocky. So I'm actually kind of seeing all three of these together. Like I'm seeing the time of reflection and pausing and like thinking things over and inactivity passing away. And I'm seeing really a time of action and decisiveness coming up. All of these are really fire-based cards. Has so much Mars energy in it. So does Emperor. And this has so much fire energy, which is all of that is action. So I'm really going to say for June, Aries, you need to take action and you need to embrace this confidence. Both Knight of Wands and Emperor have tremendous confidence. They don't even doubt them. They don't even have time to doubt themselves. They're too busy taking action, deciding things. Like I almost see this as like the CEO executive branch where he's deciding things and then this is the person carrying them out. So he's like, go fetch me this thing. And this person is like, yep, I'm on it. I'm out there doing it. I'm going to go get it. And he's saying, I need this to happen. And they're like, yep, got it. I'm going and doing it. So you kind of need to use your decision-making skills and confidence and belief in yourself as the director of your own experience in life, as well as take action on it. And try not to let, anything challenge your confidence. Try not to have the doubts or the fears, because Knight of Wands is showing up for you, which says, you do have the courage, you do have the boldness, the daring, the confidence to go and pursue that, to go and take action. So with all of these three in reverse, the more that you can address this in terms of less like seriousness in battle where you don't get wrapped up in it and more it's like having fun, the more you're going to be like, okay, I can make some decisions here. I can be in charge of myself. And by the way, I can go do some things. I can have confidence, daring, and boldness and take action. So I'm really seeing action needs to be taken in June for sure. And try not to doubt yourself, because whatever fear, doubt, or resistance is happening here, you have the capability. You absolutely do. Emperor's there, Knight of Wands there. Capable, capable of being bold, daring, active, taking action, making decisions, doing it. So that's what I'm getting for you for June, Aries, mostly is take action. For week 2, which we're in right now, there's going to be, some of you may be having a difficult time making a decision, or even evaluating what are all the options before you. This is 7 of Cups, which has to do with having a lot of options, but not really being able to see through them clearly, because that's what all this fog is about. It's kind of got this Neptune energy to it. So it's like, do I choose victory? Do I choose the jewels? Do I choose a person? This castle in the sky, this idea that I'm building, all these different things that are kind of hazy choices, and they can be very seductive. So sometimes I call this card, the Las Vegas card, because it looks like all these glittering options in front of us, but we can't see any of them clearly. So it may be challenging your ability to make a decision and move forward. What I'm going to say is, when this card is coming up, if any of you are dealing with confusion or not knowing which way to move forward, or not knowing which choice to choose, not, kind of getting lost in the shuffle because there's so many decisions in front of you, I'm going to say that it's helpful to do your research. When this card comes up, I sometimes say what you see is not what you get. So really thoroughly research all the options in front of you and see what the ramifications are for choosing any of those particular things, so that you're not just kind of blindly choosing something based on its surface, When I see this card, I often say, what glitters is not gold. Don't be seduced by the shiny, glittering thing that looks good at the moment. Really do your homework, do your research, do your due diligence when this card comes up, because it's worth seeing the thing clearly and seeing the thing for what it is and not just what it appears to be when making a decision. So that's what's going on for you in week 2, is trying to make a decision about, I can't remember if this was like this or like this, but trying to see through that fog, take action. And quite frankly, you may need to try one thing out and then try the next thing. But what's going to help you make that decision is do your research. Really think about, like, if I make this choice, what's it going to look like going down the road? You know, what is it, you know, take it a step further, or 2 or 3 steps further, to see, what does this choice entail? What will my responsibilities be? What will the outcome be like? Will I be satisfied with that? Ask all those questions when you're confronted with 7 of Cups energy. That's going to be happening for you this week. For week 3, you've got some beautiful, sweet 6 of Cups energy. This usually has to do with reuniting with someone from childhood or sentimentality. It's really a card of innocence. I see you connecting with someone in a very sweet way, whether it's someone that you already know or someone that you just discovered. It's like when 2 children give each other a gift or a present, and it's really innocent, it's really kind, it's really like without any pretense. It's really not worried about anything else that's going on in the world. Like, kids don't really worry about status or labels or titles or any of that. This is just like heart energy, and that's what Cups represent, is the emotional element. So it represents heart energy. So you exchanging sweet heart energy with someone like a child, you know, where you both feel like children. Again, could be connecting with your sweetheart. It could be connecting with someone from the past. It could be a reunion from the past. It could be a childhood friend or like a sibling. Just got that sweet childhood, childlike energy to it. And then in week 4, that's when change is happening. I kind of get that some of you are going to be getting set free when I see this card. Wheel in the 4th week here for Aries. I get that something unlocks for you. I get like this is a combination lock and it unlocks and you're set free. I actually see it as kind of like you get to fly. You've been tethered to this wheel that's turning around and you get to sort of fly off the wheel. There's actually a tenet in Buddhism that says we're tied to the wheel of karma. And I kind of get for some of you that you've paid off some karmic due and that you're going to be released from that. I'm actually getting that also with this strawberry moon, that you're releasing something, maybe something's completed. And it's also related to this card, which has to do with setting yourself free. So I just want to talk a bit about this, but then I'll go into this one. So Wheel of Fortune usually has to do with change, with the tides turning, with the natural evolution of time, with luck and with chance. And I really am getting the word freedom for you guys here, with something is going to be set free. Some final thing is going to come to its head, come to fruition. The cycle is going to be complete. I'm actually seeing that the wheel is returning back to where it started from. So whatever that means for you, the cycle is complete. You're being set free. The karmic wheel, the karmic task is complete, and you no longer have to work on it. So you're freed up to do something else. That's going to happen. That's what's showing up for you in week 4, Aries. And I also see that your meditation for this month is identifying how you can set yourself free. It's funny, I'm really relating to this reading, Aries, because again, my Aries moon, I really had the experience this month of recognizing how I could take the chains off of my own neck and unshackle myself from something. So I'm really going to invite you to use that image. What is challenging you? What is diminishing you? What is making you feel like it's taking your power away, or that you're giving your power over to it? It's keeping you shackled. It's keeping you confined. What is that thing, Aries? Because you have, and it could just be you doing this to yourself, or it could be something else that you're giving your power away to. But what is it that you can like take? I always point out in this card that these chains are very loose around their necks. I don't know if you can see that there, but what is it that you could take that chain off your neck and release it. I'm going to say some of you don't see that you have freedom or power or control in the situation. You feel stuck. You feel dominated. You feel like you're being lied to maybe, or that you're believing in something that's not true. You actually have the power. And I'm going to also hearken that back to the Emperor. That's what's coming in, is you taking self-sovereignty. You taking control and saying, no, I'm in charge of me. I get to choose. I make the decisions. I say what goes. So with both Emperor and Devil in reverse, I'm going to say, who are you giving your power away to? Aries, what are you giving your power away to? And your challenge this month, this is your meditation card, is what can I do, or what can I see that allows me to take this chain off of my neck? I'm a free agent. I'm not a slave to this thing, whatever it is. False belief, a deception, a lie, a confinement, a seduction, a vice, anything that limits you, makes you feel like you're giving your power away. You have the ability, Aries, to identify it and realize you don't have to be a slave if you don't want to. You actually get to be the king. You get to be emperor. But you have to believe that. That's number one. By believing in this lie, that's saying, no, the other thing is the king. The other thing has dominion. You stay stuck. So my meditation card for you is Devil in reverse, which is saying, free yourself from whatever is containing you, whether it be, an addiction, a person, a belief, any sort of restrictive, confining situation. Challenge it. Say, no, you know what? I'm not going to serve you anymore. I'm taking the chains off and I'm walking away. I'm free. Really, I'm going to give you a little phrase here for June, Aries. Freedom in action. Excuse me. I'm getting freedom here. I'm getting action here. I'm getting setting yourself free here. And this is finding it perhaps hard to take action, hard to get in the game. That period of inaction needs to pass. That's what's passing away for you. So I'm going to say, by taking action, you set yourself free this month.